In today's video, I'll show you how to start your own seeds. It's a great way to save money and get a much better selection of veggies. Since COVID, the price of plant starts has gone through the roof. It's doubled and in some cases tripled. But you know, you can start your own seeds at a fraction of the cost. You also get a much better selection whenever you start your own. If you buy plant starts, you're limited to what's available locally. But when you start your own, you get to pick the varieties to plant. For those of you who are new to this channel, my name is Linda, and I'd like to welcome you to Veggy 360, where you learn how to grow great tasting veggies year-round in small spaces. But before we get started, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future videos. Planting seeds is really quite easy. All you need is a pot or container for the seeds, a high-quality seed starting mix, your favorite seeds, and a marker and pen so you can label what you're planting. It's also helpful to have a container to set the seeds in and a dome lid for keeping the moisture in while the seeds are germinating. And a spray bottle of water so that you can water your plants more gently. Now, the easiest way to start seeds is with winter sowing. You literally plant your seeds in like a milk jug, set it outside, let Mother Nature do the work for you. But some seeds, like the long season vegetable varieties, are really best started indoors. So let's get started. The first thing to consider is which pot or container to use. You can really use any container. It just needs to be at least 2 inches deep and have good drainage holes to let the excess water run out. You can buy these seed starting kits that come with a tray and a humidity dome to help with the germination process. It also comes with inserts for your seeds. Or you can do like what I do and just reuse these 4-packs or 6-packs from plants that I bought already. Just make sure though that you thoroughly clean them and sterilize them so that you don't introduce any plant diseases that could damage your delicate seedlings. You can also use food containers like yogurt containers. Just make sure that you punch holes in the bottom for drainage and clean them thoroughly so that they're sterile. Next, you want to think about what seed starting mix to use. You want to look for a high quality seed starting mix, one that's nice and fluffy with that's got a fine particle size so that you get good contact with the seeds. You also want it to be sterile so that you don't introduce any plant diseases or fungal gnats, which are a real nuisance when you're trying to start indoors. I also don't recommend using garden soil because that tends to be too heavy for starting indoors. Now for the seeds, I often get asked, can I use seeds from store-bought fruits? Absolutely. But unless the fruit is labeled heirloom, like heirloom tomato, don't be surprised if the plants don't turn out the same as the parent plant, because a lot of what you get in the grocery store nowadays are actually hybrid, 2 different varieties that are bred for specific traits. Now, fruits from hybrids don't breed true. The next thing to consider is when to start your seeds. The biggest mistake that beginning gardeners often make is to start their seeds too soon. Now, I've been gardening for over 40 years and I sometimes make this mistake myself. I just get in too big of a hurry. The key thing to watch out, the key date to watch out for is the average last frost date. For us, it's April 23rd. I've included a link in the description below to help you find the last frost date in your area. Now, to determine the date for you to start your seeds after you've established your last frost date, you check the back of the seed packet. For this, it's 10 to 12 weeks before your average last frost date. So I look at the calendar, April 23rd, count back 10 to 12 weeks, and that's the date that I would be starting these eggplants. There's a lot of online resources available. If you're trying to start a bunch of different varieties of vegetables that have different start dates, the easiest way to keep organized is to use a table like this. Many of the state universities will have cooperative extension service that you can download a planting calendar from. Like I said, this one is from Virginia Tech. You can also look at Johnny's Seeds. They have a wonderful planting calendar as well. To plant the seeds, you first need to pre-moisten the seed starting mix so that it forms a loose ball. Fill the containers with this moistened mix until they're almost full, packing the mix down lightly to eliminate any air pockets. You want the roots of your seedlings to have good contact with the seed starting mix so that they can take up the nutrients properly. Check the back of the seed packet to see how deep to plant your seeds. A good rule of thumb is 2 to 3 times the diameter or width of your seeds. Most seeds are planted 1/4 to 1/2 inch deep, and the smallest seeds about 1/8 of an inch deep. Plant 2 seeds per cell so that you can thin them later, choosing the strongest, most viable seedling to keep. If I have older seeds to plant, I like to put 3 or more seeds per cell, so I'm not wasting time watching for seeds that aren't going to come up. Cover the seeds with the starting mix and press lightly to get good contact with the seeds. Label the container with the variety and the date and mist lightly with water so you're not disturbing the seeds. I like to water from below, so I put the seed starting tray in water and let it sit for no longer than 30 minutes so that it's watered from below. Transfer the containers to a tray and cover to keep the seeds moist while they germinate. Heat-loving plants like peppers, tomatoes, and eggplants germinate faster at higher temperatures, so I like to use a heat mat to speed up this process. Heat mats are optional, but they sure are nice to have, especially for impatient gardeners like me. Once the seeds start to germinate, you want to remove the cover and then move your seedlings to a grow light, such as an LED or fluorescent shop light, to keep them growing well. So that's all there is to seed starting. Watch for upcoming videos where I talk about how to care for seedlings, as well as when and how to transplant them into your garden or containers. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe so that you don't miss out on any future videos. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye now.